This video contains strong language not suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. I wasn't recording, but here, I'm
That's
recording
the worst
now.
noise I've ever
Let's
heard.
just repeat the last
quick,
10
do we want to just do a quick sound check real quick?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Deeps. Deeps. There we go.
So, hi everybody, and welcome back to
Hello.
your regularly scheduled Thursday. To seven white dudes and a lady still, because no one has left yet. When last we left off, y'all had a lot of lovely sidebar conversations, and with the mayor, with Ergen, kind of figuring out what your next move is after you learned more about the dead dwarf who was splayed out on the council table. Who, even though Atronix the Great decided to stoop to your level and do a quick resurrection, quick little revivify to wake up the dwarf and see if there was more information, all the dwarf kept saying was what you all had heard before Core dropped him. A lot of conversation there. Everyone decided the evening was yours to do what you wanted. And there was enough of you wanted to go to the range, or a number of you wanted to go check out the range that you'd heard so much about. And Thalia and Lythar had a slightly uncomfortable conversation on the way back, which didn't result in any answers, but a few... Lythar has had a few ideas on where to go from their conversation. It didn't have a ton of, again, it didn't have a lot of fruit in that conversation, but there's now a direction. So as you were walking through Corumvor, Thalia, you were dropped off at the Brotherhood complex to do your evening report and a little bit of research and sort of check in. And the rest of you were escorted by the rather excitable lieutenant, escorted all the way back into the range. Inside the Brotherhood building, Thalia gave a report, which raised more than a few eyebrows. And so there was a general consensus of like, we need to keep this on the down low so people don't freak out, but we should get a little more information before we proceed. So there were a few quiet messages sent out to other members of the Brotherhood to gather more information and see what they could find. And the rest of you went down to the range, did a little bit of shopping. You guys were at, who remembers the name of the shop you guys stopped at?
The Whetstone!
The one before that.
One.
The magical robot man.
It was a Warforged potion shop.
Fuck, I wrote it down here somewhere.
Do you remember the name of it?
It was a red building with potions.
Potion
It
seller.
was the boiling bottle. That's what it was.
The boiling bottle.
The boiling
Yes.
bottle.
I don't remember that at all.
It was the boiling bottle. So on your way back to the boiling bottle, there was a lovely Warforged who politely worked with all of you and worked with Robbie to swap out his eyes. And the eyes are being left with for a small upgrade that Robbie will have to circle by tomorrow to collect. And as you guys left, I think Ronan, you had a sidebar with the shopkeeper.
I was like, yo,
Asking a couple more questions.
yo, can I make a fucking sword? And he was like, yeah.
I think that was at the range. You wanted more
that
information.
shopkeeper.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to know more about
So glad
Robbie.
I'm so glad all of my characters are definitely distinct people.
I'm just focused on this fucking sword, man. I'm also like trying to transfer all of my notes over, and like this is 12 episodes of notes, all like some are upside down, some are sideways.
So I hate to be that guy.
Yeah.
But you're sitting at a computer.
Yeah.
And you have the Googles.
You have the Googles.
I
You
have
the
Discord.
notepad.
I have Discord on this screen. I have OBS on that screen. So now I'm down
secrets
2
of being
screens. And then I have my character sheet on my 3rd screen. So where am I supposed to take notes, Curtis?
You split the 3rd screen.
Am I
in
supposed
half.
to turn on my 2nd desktop and take notes
Yes.
on that?
Yes. I'm sorry. What first world problem are you bitching about?
Pencil and paper for the win.
Anyway,
Chris, you could just get a notebook.
you could.
I have a notebook now. That's what I was doing.
So anyway, you guys, after leaving the boiling bottle, went over to the range where you had been instructed to go by
I thought
several
the boiling
people.
bottle was in the range.
No, the boiling bottle was the potion shop down the street.
But that was outside the wall, so wouldn't that be the range?
Yes,
It's
the
in
boiling
the
bottle
range,
is at the
outside
range.
the
Is in the range outside the whetstone. Thank you. I'm super good at this. So you left the boiling bottle and were making your way towards the whetstone, where you met Ed, who is a stout little dwarf, who, after brief round of introductions and trying to figure out what the hell a motley assortment of beings of various shapes, size, and components wanted with him, brought you all inside, served a round of drinks, and has sat down with you to kind of get your backstory, kind of learn more about you and what the hell you're doing in his bar. This bar, as we kind of mentioned, it serves as both a place for drinking and hanging out. It is a weapons range, and Ed is also the master smith of the Whetstone. And sort of, he's combined all 3 of these businesses into one, which is not, it's unusual, but considering the rest of the stuff you've seen around the range, it's not that weird. So with that, we can pick up either where we left off. I know, Thalia, you were going to meet them for dinner. If you would like to join them at the Whetstone, we can jump to you rejoining. You've joined them and you're all sitting and having some drinks.
Sure.
If you want, or if you want to do a little bit of, if you want to do a little bit of stuff at the Brotherhood before you bounce.
She needs a dramatic entrance.
What's that thing Robbie did when we first met him? Fucking lightning tackle? Some bullshit where he made a thunder wave and appeared down the hallway. Do that.
I don't think it's about what Robbie did when we met him. I think it's about what you did when we met you.
Right? The door wasn't locked.
That was not my fault. The DM said the door was unlocked, so the door was unlocked. I don't know why it was unlocked, but I was there.
Chris, I opened a door and you screamed at me,
Yeah.
and I closed the door.
Yeah. I think that's fitting.
So y'all are sitting around telling him the story of how you all met the Goliath. And surprisingly, the chair that you are in, Ronan, fits you really, really well for being not looking like it was built to handle your weight. It's pretty comfy.
I think I'm pretty slim.
That's surprising considering it's the dwarf's house.
It's not his house.
Yeah, place
Or
of
maybe he
business
lives
house.
there. I don't know. I shouldn't assume.
So
So we
yeah,
tell
what
him
would
all
you,
the shit.
Thalia, would you like to?
I mean, I'll meet up with them unless they want to have a moment with Ed. If not, just come join.
Anybody want to have a moment with Ed?
I mean, I already asked him if I could borrow his forge or pay him for his forge, and he was like, # sure. So I'm good to just like spill my life to this man.
# SureForge.
Yeah.
So yeah, he keeps bringing over rounds of drinks. And this is like, it's good dwarven whiskey. There's a couple of, he's just kind of trying to, it's almost like he's just like, here, try this. Tell me what you think. And there's a couple of drinks that are, there's like a good dwarven whiskey that you're supposed to pour into the beer and it turns the foam black. But it's a very nice blackberry smell to it. It does weird things to the beer, but nothing horrific.
Stings the nostrils.
Lythar just drinking the cherry, whatever.
Yeah, the oh shit.
The
Warm
pile of
cherry.
cherries.
Yeah,
The cherry
that's what it was
volcano.
called.
The,
Yeah,
the pile
Yeah,
of cherries.
pile of cherries.
Yeah, Lythar. If Lythar wants to just drink, like, just keep drinking the pile of cherries, that's totally up to him.
Well, did I finish it or no?
Uh,
It's been a minute.
that depends. Are you sipping it?
No.
Then you'll probably finish it. There's a couple of rounds. Robbie, the small glowing cube that Ed has placed on the table in front of you, when you pick it up, and like the longer you handle it, you feel off kilter a little bit.
Robot catnip.
You start like it's hard to describe relaxing to people who don't understand it, but this is like, it's a very relaxing feeling coming over you, and you start to like, you're not as tightly wound as you normally are. You're kind of relaxing, like your posture is starting to loosen up a little bit when you hold this cube, and when you set it down, that feeling slowly dissipates. And then you can pick up the cube and just kind of get it right back.
I don't know how I feel about this. I'm going to leave it on the table for it.
Okay.
Speaking of, how many mugs are in front of me right now? How many rounds has everybody else got?
He's ordered. So Ed has gone through probably 8 drinks in the 2 hours or so that you guys have been here. And every time he's gotten a drink, he orders you one. And it's always something different. And as you guys finish your drinks, he points at you and is like, another round? Yes, another round? Yes, and gets another round of drinks. So you guys have always just basically had a full glass this entire evening. Robbie is currently inundated with these identical tankards. They all look identical, but they're made of different materials, depending on what the drink is. So like there's a metal one, there's a stone one, there's one that's made of clay. There's a couple out of like brass and bronze. There's one that looks like gold. That's more of a shot glass. But like all these tankards and glasses just piling up in front of you.
So when Thalia walks in and we notice that she is here, I'm just going to pick up one of the full ones in front of me, bring it over to her, and hand it to her.
Oh.
Hello. And then just walk back to my seat.
I think Robbie's using the electric lettuce. You see what I did there?
So I just, does it have any effect on me?
It's delicious. It's not the sort of drink. It's not like a Long Island iced tea where like you drink it and then halfway through the drink you're like, oh, you feel that wave of regret that's just like cresting behind you. This is definitely like
Long Island iced tea.
Me neither. You feel it from the second one, but it's definitely the it's a good, healthy, strong drink, but not the sort of thing that you drink to get drunk. You drink this. It's the drink that you drink around friends and family. Like, it's a very comforting feeling.
I forgot what I was drinking.
Ale.
The good shit, I think, was.
I like the good shit. I'm gonna think about that.
Can Celestials not get drunk? Or whatever you are? How do you even pronounce your race? Asimir?
Asimir?
I think they can.
She's an ASMR.
She's also
an ASMR.
Yeah.
Well, you're also half human, so the human half of you can get drunk.
Is that like her left half, or like?
I wasn't sure if that was top of. I don't. Never mind. My joke's not funny anymore.
Because her legs stopped working, but like everything else is just like.
Because if half your face stops working, you got a stroke. You don't want. So comes over and as Thalia, as you're coming over the table, Ed stands up and he's like, I didn't know you had another one. He offers you his chair and like picks up all of his mugs on like in one arm. And he's like, you take this, I'll grab another chair and another round of drinks. And he points at Rob and he goes, get you one.
I don't think he finished this one. I give it back to Robbie.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Drinks? Oh, get another round.
I'd have another.
Before he gets an answer from any of you, he just turns and like marches off to the bar. where the female bartender kind of turns and looks at him. And Lythar, what's everybody's passive perceptions?
10.
14.
11.
15.
10.
Wow,
I think
we
Frank's
suck.
is 15 if he's alive. Because he's not.
Frank is currently, I think, either on the table in front of you or attached it to your belt.
He's on the table. Yeah, he's
Okay.
chilling.
So Frank, who else had above like a 14?
I'm at 14.
Okay. So Frank, Thalia, and Lythar, you notice when the bartender turns her head, it kind of turns a little too far. Like it turns just a little farther than you think it should for a human. Very like you catch out of the corner of your eye, like that was weird, and then you get a closer look and it's fine.
That
but
Android
definitely-
18?
What?
Android 18 from Dragon Ball
No,
Z.
it is not.
Oh.
Get that weeb shit out of here.
Dragon Ball Z
Get
is
that
not weeb shit.
No, it's not.
That's what I watched
no.
Naruto for.
Can I kick someone from this call?
I think you can. I don't know
All
how.
of a sudden, Ronan has a heart attack.
Ronan starts bleeding from his eyes.
Oh, I can remove or block you, but I don't have a middle option. I don't have a temporary kick. Anyway, so he offers Thalia, Ed offers you his chair.
Oh,
And goes
thank
behind
you.
the bar. You see the hands come up and he starts like pulling bottles down because the bar is just too high for you to see the top of his head. But you see him come back, and he comes back with another round of drinks. And this time he sets a very tall, narrow bottle in front of Robbie, and then the rest of the drinks in front of you. And he pulls up a chair, spins it around, and kind of sits down, puts his arms on the back of the chair, and he goes, "So, what are you doing here?" Like here in my bar.
Oh, our friend Mori and also myself required your assistance.
Oh, right. Yes, we talked about that. Yes. I
was
What do
hoping for like a longer range thing.
Mm,
I got these pistols. They're pretty sweet. Like I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty great.
mm,
But I'm more of a like stand in the back kind of guy. you know?
Yeah, no. Yeah, well. Yeah, my dad was like that. Yeah. Yeah. He was a gnome. But yeah, he was definitely a stay in the back kind of guy.
So he's a half gnome dwarf?
What's it to you?
I'm just
You got a problem with
curious.
either one of my parents?
No, I don't think so.
I think both your parents were reasonably nice people.
I've never met them.
Yeah, the big guy's right. You never met him. Father was a bastard.
Like I said, he was a bastard.
Holds up his drink, he goes, "I like you. Don't talk shit on my parents again." Takes a huge drink. He's like, "So you want something a little less in the fire, in the fight? I understand. Are you looking for? What do you want to do? Do you want to hit really hard or hit something a bunch?"
Really hard, like real hard.
Just like my ex-wife.
Just like mine too. Did you marry the same woman as me?
Possibly. I give him a
Wait.
little high five.
He's like, why you put that down? Why are you high fiving me? That's not something to high five about. You should have seen the other bar ahead before she took it.
Oh,
Took the whole thing.
Dang.
Yeah, well, this one's nicer. She didn't touch it. Puts it kind of fun. He's like, all right, so you want a like a dragon killing gun? How hard do you want to hit? You want to shoot a dragon?
dragon killing sounds cool.
Yeah,
It's not for
shoot
me,
me.
but still.
I didn't do anything to be shot.
You're a dragon person. I think.
Sorry, what'd you say, DP? I can't hear you over the sound of Chris drunkenly interjecting.
Sorry.
Dragon killing does sound pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's what happened to my dad. He shot a dragon. I might still have his gun. Come back tomorrow. I might have his gun for you. Or I might have his gun and we can try it. We can make something that fits you a little better. And I can tell you that whole story. Because that's a long one. Yeah. Swing by tomorrow and we'll take a look. We'll make something happen for you.
Nice. Sounds like a plan.
He takes his tankard and holds it out to you and takes it, clangs it, slams it on the table, takes a big old swallow. He's like, so you want a gun? What do you want?
I want this turned into a sword, and I just whip the arm out and drop it on the table.
So, as the arm hits the table, there's definitely an unpleasant smell. It's only been a couple of days since you.
It's been longer than that.
No, it hasn't. We did the math. You guys found Robbie today.
Oh yeah.
It's been 3 weeks in real time, but you found Robbie earlier today.
Yeah, but I had the arm before that.
Yeah, 4 days ago.
How long did it take us to get to Quorum for?
3 days.
2 days.
2 or 3 days.
Oh.
And yeah, this whole adventure, we're on episode 13.
Yep.
We're 4 days in, buddy.
3 months. It has been 5 days in game. If there's ever been a better description of Dungeons and Dragons, I don't know what it is. Anywho, so you throw this arm down and like it doesn't smell bad because it's been like baking. It's been baked in the sun and like
all the gooey bits
chitin
are
and
off.
everything. It doesn't smell like rotting meat as much as it does like a large amount of dead bugs. Good save, Kendrick.
Sorry.
No, that was actually a good save. But he's like, you land it, and he just goes. What was it?
I don't know. I killed it though.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
I also have this, and then I pull out the other like hook. I'm like, I want this attached to a chain.
Listen, I'm gonna say this once.
Mhm.
I'll make weapons. I don't make kinky shit.
It's not kinky shit. It's to throw and catch someone and then yank them back so then I can kill them with my sword.
That sounds like a very specific kink. Have you... You're not one of those pleasure cultists, are you?
I don't think so. What does a pleasure cultist look like?
Whatever. They just look like people. But then when the sun goes down, they go into the sewers and the catacombs. And they do all kinds of weird, fucked up sex things.
I do not do that.
I believe the term is, do not kink shame me, bro.
What?
His jaw is just like
How much has he had?
Robbie or Ed?
Yeah, Thalia is concerned. Robbie, yeah.
Robbie? How much have you had, Robbie?
None.
He's had at least 6 fondles of a cube.
I don't like the way it makes me feel. I left it on the table.
Okay.
So Core's not here. Ed like looks and he's like, and he like pushes the bottle aside and he leans on the table and goes, And he's kind of swaying a little bit at this point. He goes, "Where the hell did you learn that?"
I do not believe you have access to that information.
He's like, I heard that one a lot. You're right. None of my business. Take this tankard. Anyway. And you could tell he's starting to sway a little more. But he's still his hands are solid on the table, but his torso's starting to do that little, starting to do the wiggles a little bit. He's like, so anyway, big guy, bigger guy. No offense to you in the full plate. He's just bigger than you. He's just big.
No offense taken, Mr. Ed. We'll talk when you're done with the big one.
The biggest one. Yes,
I like to call him Tiny.
I'm sure you do. What do you want? This thing. And he slaps the blade, the arm on the table. He's like, "You want this to be a sword?"
Yes, like a great sword.
Yeah, all my swords are pretty great. I wanted to be a big sword.
Yes. Now, I'm sure you would make a much better sword than I would. But I used to be a blacksmith and was hoping that I might be able to assist in some way. I enjoy making things that I use.
Okay. Did you blacksmith this thing to death?
No, I punched it in the face.
Stick to that. Let me do the smithing.
Enough.
If you want to help, he just thumps his chest. He's like, if you want to help, yeah, I could probably use a set of hands around the forge. Yeah, you're not wrong. Come back tomorrow with the little guy and we'll figure out a price and we'll get started. Leave the arm and the other thing. You have the chain?
Indeed.
Yeah, leave it here. Just put it all on the table.
Take out the chains and go.
So there's now a severed arm, a hunk of bone, and a 30-foot pile of chain just laying on the table. And he goes, "All right. What about the rest of you?"
Mr. Ed.
Oh, yes, Scaly Boy. Captain Scales. Lieutenant Scales? What rank are you? The armor always confuses me.
It's just Scales.
Yes. Yeah, Mr., Mrs. What's your pronouns?
I never really thought about it, actually.
Yes, so we'll stick with they, them. What's up? There was a whole kerfuffle with the machine, with the Warforged. There was a whole thing. What would you like? What could I help you with?
I've got a pretty important fight coming up tomorrow.
All fights are important, especially the ones that matter.
Yep, against the people that wear this armor here, of which I may have borrowed.
He's like, "Oh, hold on a second." Gets off his stool, kind of shuffles over, and he gets real close, pushes his nose into the armor. He's like, "Shit in God's beard."
Who's God?
Which one?
Pick your favorite. Pick your one with the biggest beard. More shit goes in there. What? You've been drinking in my bar wearing shield plate?
Correct.
You're not one of them, are you?
No.
That's good. I mean, that's bad for you, but that's good. They never tip.
Bastards.
Tell me about it. Anyway, what's the fight? Who are you fighting?
Sir Cleanliness. The big bald one.
Oh yes,
sounds like a prick.
Yeah, the big. Yeah.
Bartholomew.
Oh yes, Bartholomew. Yes, he's a. Oh boy. You're fighting him?
He's a prick.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Why are you fighting him?
Because he doesn't like me wearing his armor.
No. You're. It won't be a fight. Probably. Unless you make it a fight. Probably.
Problem.
Do you got a second? Did they send you one of those fancy pieces of paper?
I get out my piece of paper. Oh, I don't think this looks very fancy at all.
No, that's pretty fancy. You're not gonna lie. Like, I can't write like that. My handwriting's not that good. But yeah, I've got any points. And behind the bar, he kind of points and you notice that there's a couple of letters with a similar handwriting style and the same wax seal embossed on them. He's like, those you only get from important people. And yeah, no, those you only get from important people. I have a lot of them roll through here. Some of them are like, hey, I really like your bar. Thanks for my weapon. Some of them are like, this place is an abomination of sin and should be closed. Sometimes from the same people, sometimes days apart. So yeah, you're in good company. You let me see that. Let me read this thing. And he takes it and he's like, well, good luck. You're gonna show up?
I'm on the fence about that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you word of warning, and this can go for all of you, even the orc who's a little passed out right now. If you don't show up, they'll know.
Because I won't be there.
Yeah, but no, they'll know how to find you, and it won't stop.
Well, in that case,
just as a warning, I was, God, years ago was that? 60 years ago. I was the Sea Pillars, halfway around the world. And one of the guys I was with nicked something from him. Said he'd done it 15 years ago. And they fucking tracked him down at the Sea Pillars, halfway around the world. I'm not going to tell you what happened, because that would be a spoiler and ruin the other best story I have. But just a warning: be ready. If you don't show, they'll show up eventually.
I will go, but I feel I need something to better protect myself there from them.
Like what?
Ideally, something heavy.
You got a big heavy thing.
Like maybe a shield or a better shield.
You got a heavy thing.
I like magical things, Mr. Ed. They're very nice. They're very shiny.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you do.
Shiny indeed.
Unfortunately, I'm fresh out of shiny things, and I don't have time to make you another one for the fight tomorrow.
You could be quick.
I don't do quick.
Understood.
Quick, you make mistakes. You get a shield that doesn't work.
Well, so, Mr. Ed, I'd like to point out, your friend was only halfway around the world when they found him. What if he went all the way?
Then he'd be back here.
That's not
and they'd find him.
That's farther. They wouldn't even know.
Have you seen a circle, friend? This table you see is a circle.
Thalia's just gonna
several times
tip Lami's tankard so he takes another drink.
I'm sorry, what? One more time.
Just to make Lami shut up, Thalia's just gonna reach over and I'm assuming he's holding his tankard, so I'm just gonna tip it so he's taking another drink so he shuts up.
Put it into his face. He's like,
I'm gonna chug it.
Give me a con save, please, if you're gonna chug the rest of your drink. He goes, thank you, ma'am.
I pleasure?
6.
You just get this healthy port, and the good shit that you've been drinking all night is not meant to do this. This is not a chugging good shit. This is I sip this. So you chug and you get that really great, awesome tingly feeling from head to toe. And then your eyes cross. You just like you kind of just like lean back in your chair. You're not asleep. You're not unconscious. You are just blissed out.
I like it.
Hey, so I know Ronan and I met Lythar. Who are the rest of you?
Oh God, how long have you been with these people? You came to dinner with a bunch of strangers.
Well, she and I go way back.
You're the strangest one of them.
I
Going
don't
to
think
pick
I am.
up.
He's a robot.
I'm going to pick up another one of the full mugs in front of me, turn to Thalia, hand it to her. Hello, I am Robbie.
Hi, Robbie. Thank you. Is there anything else I should know about you?
I cannot think of any pertinent information currently.
Okay,
Try again later.
will do. Great.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the co-gnome over here, my brother by blood, is I believe his name is Maury,
Yeah.
and he's basically family at this point, just because there's like 17 gnomes in the city and 3 of them talk to me. And what's the name of your talking head?
Well, that's Frank.
That is Frank. It's a good name, Frank. And I think what was the? Excuse me, Mr. Orc, sir, Mr. Toothy. What was your name? I think you're muted, Mr. Toothy.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Toothy.
I'm Thrall.
Yeah, Thrall's the big toothy one.
Just 2.
Just the 2 big ones, but they make a wonderful first impression. I must admit. Well, if you're ever looking for bouncer work, I'll just put you at the front of the door. I'll serve you drinks. You just sit there and just do what you do. It'll be great. I feel like you'd be really good at it. Natural talent.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll talk about it when I'm sober. So like next year sometime. And Mr. Pointy Ears, you look like you wanted a thing. You look like a man who wants something.
I want another drink.
You're passed out.
I have to ask for another drink.
I take a big gulp of my drink and put it down. I look at him. I'm like, do you know how to read Elvish?
Kind of looks around. He goes,
Man.
"Why?"
Answer the question. Or are you good with riddles
Oh, riddles?
that are in
Riddles.
Elvish?
I'm garbage with riddles, but I'm good with Elvish. What do you got?
All right. Got the sweet nut. Pull it out of my pocket. Put it in his hand. Say, read this. Tell me what you think this means.
I didn't realize that Lythar's charisma was -1.
Yes.
It now
So
makes
like,
sense.
This is totally on
First-
brand.
Perfect.
so like, first of all, yes, I'm an idiot for how I deliver these things, but it honestly perfectly fits my characters. So, kudos to me.
Mine's also -1.
You're much quieter.
I'm just gonna pat
Check
myself
this
on the
nut
back
out.
right here.
Is this infected?
Yes, it is.
That coronavirus made its way over to this
It's the
fake
canola
game.
oil virus. Watch out for the
Anyway.
canola oil.
So when you have the acorn in your hand, you can read the Elvish on it. Like it's glowing, it's there, it's great. The second it's out of your hands and touches his, it almost is like the glow. There's no glow to it. It's just like a hunk of metal in his hand.
A hunk of metal.
Yeah, it's a golden acorn. Like it's just like
Oh,
What did you
right,
think it was made out of?
Well, I thought it was an acorn, so I forgot it was.
A nut.
All right.
Made of 100% nut.
So does he have a response to this?
he's like, what am
Nut?
I? And he's like, he like holds it. And he's like, this doesn't. Is this the riddle? Why is this? What does Elvish have to do with it? It's just, and he puts it on the table. He's like, hang on a second. Touch it.
I put my finger. I go, boop. Or wait.
Like when you touch, when you
Touch
like,
the nut.
you touch the acorn,
Touch the nut.
the glow comes back, and all of you see this writing scroll across it in Elvish. And he
One written. Two.
and kind of stands up, shuffles over, and goes, well, that's neat. Where'd you get this?
It was given it to me.
By.
Not important.
All right. Hang on a second. And he reaches over, grabs the long stemmed glass that's sitting in front of Robbie, downs it, flips it over, and uses it kind of like it's like a magnifying glass to get close and get like a really good look at it. He's like, all right, he starts kind of mumbling. He's like, what? What the hell's child of wandering? There's know your family. Wood and water meet. Yeah, that's speak our names beneath the night and receive your legacy. What the? Hey, you want me to figure this out?
I'm just shooting in the dark here. if I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
I
I
can
asked
tell.
hard and she had no idea, and I thought that was my best hope.
Give me some time. I'll
And
I'll work on it.
as I say that though, I bring up my glass and like give a cheers to Thalia. Like it's okay, I forgive you. But I'm like ready for a cheers. Like
Foreheads on the table, just like embarrassed.
He's like, you don't. Valid. That's a good try. And you know what? These things take time. And frankly, he kind of just throws up his arms. He's like, I've got ideas. None of them are good. Like most of my ideas.
Lythar just
No. Well, let's do this one thing at a time. And he's like, hey, he looks at it and he's like, hang on a second. He reaches over, or he like reaches into his pocket, pulls out like a napkin and a piece of charcoal and kind of starts like jotting down the translation. So he's just jotting this down in common for everybody. He's like, all right, wandering moon. Well, you're clearly somebody's child. Wandering moon, that doesn't make a ton of sense. Do you know who your parents are?
no.
Yeah, all right.
I
Well,
take a big drink. No.
okay. Well, that's gonna make the second line kind of tricky. It says here, you must know your family. So good luck. Where wood and water meet. That could be like a moat or something, but I'm gonna guess.
Stick in a puddle.
No, not a stick in a puddle. That's too simple. Elves are all floofy and shit. No offense, but totally like you're all floofy and shit. Speak our names beneath the night. Okay. And receive your legacy. Well, I think if you want my honest opinion, this sounds dumb. But if you want my honest opinion about the riddle, you got to find out your parents' names. You got to find a spot where there's a tree next to a river, and you got to say your parents' names in the dark. And that's my best guess. Night, the N is capitalized, and it's full moon or new moon. I'm not sure which, but one of the two are probably your best besties. They always wandering me. I don't know, something with cycles of the moon. Find your parents' names. Say it in the woods. I think that's probably it. That's my guess.
I like grab the nut, put it back in my pocket.
Hey,
like, on my head.
gentle. That's a magical thing.
Easy.
Not
with
like
me.
aggressively, I'm just like, give me my nut back.
Yeah. You know,
That's
there's
not how
that
this works.
there's that goofy looking gardener hangs out in the Sea of Stones. He's probably the best guy to help you out with this.
Sea of Stones. Where's that?
Yeah, the weird looking park thing back back in the city. Yeah.
That's funny story. That's where I got it.
Are you making fun of my voice? I think you're
No.
making fun of my voice.
No. That's where I got it.
Oh,
I'm assuming from the goofy man you speak of. Was he an elf?
well, yeah. You don't see me
Yes.
hanging out in the trees.
Yes. He definitely gave me this nut and said I was the chosen one. Or the trees chose me. I know I'm an elf, but I don't know what that shit means.
Well, good luck. I'm not an elf, and I don't care.
Besides that, really quick, would you happen to have any? What's the word?
Accoutrement.
Very. I don't even know what the word would actually be in real life. Whoa, hold on. Would you happen to have any magical bows or possibly short swords in stock or for able to be created?
TP, were you saying something? I don't know if you were muted or.
No, I'm just laughing, Kendrick.
Okay. He's like,
What's
My
the
last
word
one.
again? Oh, right, bow.
my
Bows,
main
swords,
weapon.
Short
Yes.
swords. My name is William Shatner.
Well, I don't do bows. And my last two short swords went out with the guy I threw out of my bar. So I'm fresh out. But let me see what let me talk to some people. I might know someone who can get you a bow.
I appreciate your
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fucking pleasantries and shit. You're still making fun of my voice.
I'm not trying to.
I just flick
It happens.
Lythar in the ear. Doing a little.
What?
What?
All right. So you last three. Thrall. Mr. Thrall. Do you want anything? Anything I can get you?
I need a katana.
Like full 1,000 folds? Because I don't have the space to do a full 1,000. I get to like 875 and my arms get tired.
That is perfectly fine.
All right. Let me see what I have in the back. I'll have to swing by tomorrow with everybody else. Actually, tell you what. Tomorrow, because I'm gonna guess that our good dragony friend is going to take his fight, or is going to meet Bartholomew of the shiny head in a.
Can I wake up and abruptly like interject and then like fall asleep again?
Sure.
I'll fight you, you bastard. You don't even. Your mom's. I'm gonna pass out.
he's like, that's the good shit. It's like, I might have something that may be of your liking. I'll need to take a look and see what I can do with it. And Mr. Robbie, he takes one of your drinks, kind of sneaks. Actually, he's gonna try and do something real quick. I'm gonna roll some dice for the first time.
First time ever?
What is your
Whoa.
passive perception, Robbie?
10.
Okay. So you don't see him he's like, and he points with one hand and his other hand snakes out and grabs a mug from in front of you, one of the untouched ones, and he goes, and friend, and he brings up the mug and hands it back to you. And then he's like holding it there in front of you. Like, here, you should.
So I take the mug. Thank you.
And he takes his mug and clinks it with yours and downs his.
Just sets it and I set it on the table.
And he's like, is there anything the two of you need? You all seem like a good group of folks, and it's been a while since a good big group of people have come in. Normally it's all ones and twos, and
we're a conglomerate, you see.
Is he always this much of a lightweight? Or is it the good shit? I think
it's the good shit.
Anyway, Ms. Thalia and Mr. Robbie, or Robbie, is there anything I can get you? Anything I can help with? Information, weapons. I mostly do weapons, but I know people in this city. I've been here for a little while.
Yes, I require information on a group called En Machina. Also, what year is it?
One question at a time. Hang on. He keeps kind of staring, and like his head kind of drops further and further towards the table as he's staring. And takes his drink and doesn't move his head, just like plants his face in his drink. Never heard of him. I think. Nope. Never heard of him. But year, never heard of him.
Can I hear this conversation?
Yes, you are all like at this table, at this conversation, kind of together.
I want to know if he's telling the truth about
You cut out right at the
En Machina thing. Sorry.
He hasn't. He's telling you the truth. He has no idea. And he's like, here it's 5:32. I think depends on the calendar. Dwarven calendar, it's 5:32. Gnomish calendar, it's 15:47. I like Dwarven calendar because it makes me younger, but I like Gnomish calendar because I get more birthdays. Human calendar, like standard, I'd have to say is 987 standard year. Yeah, I think that's right. He goes, honey, what year is it? And she just turns and goes, 987, dear. She's right. Yep, 987.
Okay. Does the human date actually mean anything to me?
This calendar's very... You have no frame of reference for the human calendar. The Dwarven and the Gnomish calendars click for you.
Okay.
Judging from that, you like he's kind of like working backwards. Your previous shutdown was, I think,
10,000 years.
no, it was 33 years ago in Gnomish calendar. Which, hilariously enough, because I can't come up with multiple different calendar systems on the fly, you've been shut down about 30 years in human years.
Okay.
It's a very bizarre system, the gnomes. Everything's fine, I promise.
Now I feel like I need a drink.
I thought you meant Robbie was going to pick up the cube.
No, actually, is that still on the table?
The cube is still on the table in front of you.
Uh,
Radiating drunkenness in a very small circle around it.
I was actually going to try to get that into somebody's bag. Because I don't have a bag.
So you're sitting between... Who wants to be sitting next to Robbie? Who wants to be an accomplice?
Oh god.
I feel like I've been sitting next to him since he's been trying to hand me drinks.
Okay.
All conversation.
So Thalia's on your left. Who wants to be on the right, or I'm going to randomly assign because there are.
I'll be
I'm
there.
next to Thalia because she moved my thing. So
Okay, so you are sitting between the Goliath and the Bard, or the Asimir. Give me a sleight of hand check, please.
Yes, I'm bad at these.
How quickly are you gonna do this becomes the question.
Well,
Because if you're gonna go swift, you're not proficient in sleight of hand. So if you go swiftly, it'll be a straight check. If you don't, it'll be at disadvantage with your proficiency bonus because this is going to like start to get you drunk as you try to move it into the pocket.
Oh,
no, I'm gonna try to do this swift.
Okay.
difficult.
Hey, that's an at 20.
Whoo!
That's 21.
That is it. So
21.
Robbie like kind of like he leans forward like he's going to like move the drinks around a little bit. And who do you want to stash this in? Stash this. Who do you want to make your mule?
You said I'm between Ronan and Thalia?
Ronan is on your right, Thalia is on your left.
Well, Thalia has already walked away from this group at one moment, and Ronan has not, so I'm going to throw it into Ronan's sack if I can.
Yep. Yeah, no, absolutely. Ronan, you have no idea that you have just been turned into a drug mule.
Yeah, now we need to avoid border control at all costs.
It's not in Nature's pocket. I think he's okay. Robbie doesn't have a Nature's pocket.
I'm sure the lieutenant's gonna love this.
And he's like, all right, well, it's. Oh God! He looks at his watch and he goes, "This is a sundial." What? Honey, she goes, "It's time for you to go to bed, dear." And he goes, "Oh, it's late. I have to build things in the morning."
What time should
All right.
we come back?
Tell you what. Come back tomorrow after the the dragon thing. After you deal with Bartholomew and the High Commander.
What time was my meeting?
3:00.
Yes, got it. Never wrote that down.
You basically got the letter of meet me on the playground after school, except with way bigger swords. Ed's like, yes. 3:00. Yeah, 4:00. And I'll make you guys dinner. We'll talk about the weapons. I'll have preliminary drawings of things. And if the fight goes well, it'll be a celebration. If it goes poorly, it's a wake. So, yeah. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
It won't go poorly. I see that face you're giving me, Scaly Boy, Mr. Scales.
I'm passing
You,
out.
Oh. Is he looking at me?
I
He's
don't
not
think
looking at me. Honey.
No.
And you see the person come over. You see the person he's calling honey come over. She's like, she just puts a tray down on the table, and it's 8 matching silver glasses, little tiny goblets, like beautifully crafted. And she goes, drink these up. If you can pour one down the dragon's throat, he should wake
Somebody,
up.
for God's sake, wake me up.
He can walk home on his own.
And I'll pinch Lami's nose and use his like nose flaps to open up his mouth and just like pour it in, but leave the little goblet like in his mouth, and then close his mouth and blow on it like a dog. You know when you give a dog a
What?
pill, you cover it in butter and
Yeah.
shove it in their mouth and go. No?
No, I've never done that.
Oh,
I
okay.
usually just
No,
I
that's
usually just
exactly-
grab
I'm,
I
yeah,
grab
just
bread and put
wrap it
peanut
in
butter
peanut
in
butter,
it.
dude.
Yeah, and they
Wait,
just
are you saying
I
you
put it in a
blow
piece of
air on your dog's nose?
Yeah, and
No,
then they swallow
that's
the
a
pill.
thing. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I just
If-
put it in
'cause-
bologna.
What? I've
No,
never
because
heard
there are
of that.
dogs.
Literally
Animal
anything
handling
else.
tangent. Sometimes the dog, like, it depends on the size of the pill. Because bigger ones, the dog will be like, absolutely fucking not. I can find this through the bologna, the cheese, the peanut butter. That works for bigger pills. Anyway, so Chris, do you have inspiration yet?
Shove it up the butt.
No, I
So
don't.
weird.
You go ahead and give yourself some
Yay!
inspiration. I appreciate that. So everyone is able to basically take these tonics, and they'll sober you up. And so Lami, you wake up to there's something wedged between your teeth, and there's massive pair of hand, like you feel something pinning your mouth shut, and someone is blowing into your mouth like they're trying to resuscitate you, and you can taste it a little, and it's not nice. It's not a pleasant taste what you're getting, but like you are like snaps.
Is there alcohol involved in this taste,
Or
or is it just not pleasant all around?
there's some alcohol in the taste, but mostly you're getting this very cool, clear taste of water. And that you feel like whatever that is, as you feel it running down, you feel like the sobriety creeping in. It's like the depression, but worse.
I'm gonna go. "Ew, take it away.
And I let go.
Well,
You still
so
have
yeah,
a
anyway.
goblet in your mouth. And then I take mine.
You know, it is like it's like a shot glass, but there's a very small base at the bottom.
I'm gonna yell another round.
No, I think we've had enough.
It's like unfortunately,
Another one.
he takes the glass that was put in front of Robbie and puts it in front of you, and he goes, "Here you go, friend. Another
Sure,
one.
I'm gonna
One for the
drink it.
road.
I'm gonna drink it.
You are extra sober now." He's like, "All right. Well, unfortunately, I need to close down the shop for the night." And at this point, as you guys look around, you are the only people in the bar. He goes, "Like I said, come back tomorrow after your meeting with Bartholomew and the High Captain Commander, and we'll talk more, have some drinks, and if you win, it's a celebration. If you lose, well, it's a celebration of you losing, or it's a wake. Don't make it a wake. I like most of you."
We like you. At least I do.
No,
Funny.
no, now you're lying to me.
I would never.
I think you would. Are you making fun of my voice too?
I don't think so.
I think you're making fun of my voice. All right. I'd love to stay and chat. Get out.
Well,
Please.
What do we owe you?
You'll pay up tomorrow.
Okay,
Right.
indeed.
I'll hold you to that.
You have my stuff. I have to come back tomorrow.
You don't have to. You want to be the first person to. There's no good rhyme for drop and dash with a sword. Sword and snitch, no. Yeah, you'll be back.
Indeed.
I'll run up a tab. And actually, the mayor told you to come here, right?
Indeed.
I'll put it on his.
Oh,
Nice.
Very good.
I stand
And
up and
you-
I say thank you and I curtsy.
Give me that performance check, please.
That is a nat 20.
Beautiful. So you stand and give this perfect curtsy. It is like all the curtsying you've seen around the city has prepared you for this moment. And Ed puts his hands in the pockets of his leather apron. And he looks at you and goes, "That was perfect.
Oh, thank you.
That was perfectly strange. That will haunt my dreams." You're really graceful.
Thank you.
I'm
And I
going
walk
to
away.
bed. It's been a long day. Good night, Mr. Ed.
Just call me Ed. Friends can call me Ed.
Like I said, good night, Mr. Ed.
Hmm.
And he kind of leads you all to the door, and politely but firmly kind of shows you out, and then shuts the door. And as the door shuts, all of the lights inside turn off.
Hmm.
And you hear the drop bar slam, and you hear some movement inside, but he's closed for the night. And a lot of the other, as you guys look around, a lot of the other bars are starting to shut down. You guys have probably been in there for about 3 or 4 hours. So it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Inside the city, there will still be plenty of bars and plenty of revelry. But because the range is situated outside the city, there's a little less there's less protection from the city walls. So, and the city gates will shut at like between 10:30 and 11. So that's when everything kind of shuts down. So this gives people time to make their way back into the city to where they're sleeping. So y'all are standing outside of the Whetstone on
The
a
leaky tap. Or the twist and shout.
Twist and shout.
What's the leaky tap? Why do I have that written down?
It's from Critical Role.
Why do I have it
Yeah.
written down?
You're a dingus.
Mercer.
Lord have Mercer.
The monster
So
is even in my games.
Oh god.
so back to the inn, bed, and a long
Oh, I would
rest,
like to
I'm
take
super good at
bath.
and a break.
Yes, because I have to pee.
So as you guys are walking back to the twist and shout, you go through the gates, you pass by a couple of patrols, and as you guys are walking through the main streets, you hear a scream from a side alley.
I run that way.
Probably a cat. Let's carry on. Very tired.
I'm gonna leave it at you hear a scream in the alley, so you guys can figure out what you want to do.
I already ran
As
that
we
way. I made up my mind.
As we break. We are breaking.
And break.
People can pee.
Oh, god.
Everybody back at 9:03.
I want to point out that 4 hours in the Whetstone took significantly less time than 4 hours in the sewers.
That's so true.
It was the drinks. Don't worry. about it.
Context. I hate Dungeons and Dragons for that reason. Time means nothing.
Go.
Hey, we're back. Time is a construct, and so is Robbie. So
I run to the scream.
I was going to start with a little more of a lean in.
Well, the audience doesn't have that 20 minutes that we sat here.
Definitely not 10. Welcome back, everybody.
Was
So
me.
yeah, you hear a scream as you're walking through the city. You hear a scream.
Is it a man they scream?
Um,
Is it a woman they
It-
scream?
it's high pitched.
Is it a children scream?
It's hard to tell.
I run
It
to the
defi-
scream.
You run. Okay, so you
Okay.
immediately take the 90-degree turn into the alley.
I summon my sword and follow.
I'm
I'm
gonna
also
slap.
at-
I'm gonna slap my forehead and follow. Not as fast.
I'm gonna waddle as fast as I can.
I'm also following.
So
I'll-
Lythar. So everyone's gonna
I'll
take
be the I'll be the last person to be like, okay.
Fine, I guess. So you turn into this alley, and there's nothing in this alley. You see some garbage, some small piles of debris, and then there's dark in the center of the alley, but on the far side is the next street over.
I run to the next street.
Okay, give me a dexterity saving throw.
He trips on a banana peel.
Very tired. Very time for bed and a shower. Maybe 2 showers.
That is a 17.
Okay.
This lady can wait.
So as you're running down this alley, you see at the last second there's a wire about probably a 1/4 inch thick, strung at what neck height would be for your average human.
So it's like nipple height for me.
It's like bottom of your pecs.
Okay.
But you're able to like drop into like not quite a power slide. It's more like a baseball slide.
Do I look cool?
And you've got the foot out and you drop below it. You look pretty cool. The fact that you didn't, almost it would have like, you're just very happy that you didn't run into it. It wouldn't have cut your head off, but boy, it would have hurt. And as you drop into the slide, you see that some of the smaller piles are like there's some smaller piles, and they look like piles of clothing.
Are they people?
Well, what's everybody else doing, real quick?
I'm like right behind Ronan.
I'm
Okay,
gonna walk,
so
I'm gonna
you're-
walk around the corner.
Maury, you're
and-
fine.
Oh yeah, I'm way.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
sure,
if he
I'm ready.
ran first, would you not have had him roll a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, he would have been fine.
Okay.
I will run behind Ronan. Seeing him duck, I will cut the string that he ducks under,
Okay.
since I have my sword out.
So yeah, you like put your sword in front of your face and just like slice right through this wire. When it goes, it twangs, like there's an audible snapping twang as it breaks, and you see you can actually you feel the wire whipping past your face as it like as the tension is released. And you're kind of looking around. You also see like these small piles of what look like clothing. But there's nothing else besides you guys in the alley right now.
I continue to the street. Look
Alright.
around.
Oh. Okay. As you get to the end of this street, you guys see just like normal dressed people going for a walk. A couple of nicer dressed folks kind of going on their evening stroll. A couple of people staggering back from bars.
Is there anyone close to me? Can I ask someone, like, did you hear a scream?
Yeah, you can snag a passerby and ask, or you could just, if you want to grab someone individually, or if you want to just do your Goliath thing and
I'll
shout.
just yell.
What are you yelling?
Did anyone hear a scream?
A woman who is talking with her companion turns and looks at you, and she lets out a bit of a shriek because you're now standing directly in front of her and she wasn't expecting it. But everyone just kind of like looks at you and like kind of ducks their head and keeps walking.
I'm gonna go back and start poking through these piles of clothes.
I'm gonna look up.
Up above, it looks like you're just between a pair of buildings. There are two windows on either side, sort of splitting the alley. The windows are dark, and they look to be boarded up. Give me a perception check, actually.
Alright. Let's go.
Do they look like they're now starting to sag away from each other now that the wire isn't holding them together?
The buildings?
Yeah.
No, the buildings are
Boosh.
the buildings are not fake. The buildings are actual stone and everything else.
That's a nat 20, so a total of 24.
Oh, okay. Nat 20 takes it. Jesus Christ, what do you ring your dice with, everybody?
It's good roll dice. You can blame
We rolled
Mercer.
4 dice this game. 3 of them have been crits.
I had a 6.
5 dice this
Oh,
game.
Lord.
3 of them have been crits. Statistically, we're still pretty good.
It's okay, my one's coming.
As you guys are looking, as Thalia, as you're looking around, you see that like one of the windows, for being boarded up, you're kind of looking up. And you see, and you realize that the boards on one of the windows, you can see moonlight coming through the space where the board should be nailed to the wall.
Called it fake.
You can see that the nails are in the board, but the nails extend. You can see the glint of the nails extending past the boards, but not biting into the wall.
Have I made my way back there yet?
Not yet. So in the upper left window that's closer to you, it looks like this, to the normal observer, this would look like it's shut, but you could absolutely, because the windows swing open vertically, you could absolutely have, this window is a fake door, basically. You're able to move in and out of this, and it looks like it's boarded up with the rest of the windows.
I'll point that out to whomever.
Point that out to the group.
Yeah.
Ronan, at this point, you've come back and rejoined the group. Robbie, as you're poking around the clothes, you're getting a weird assortment of costumes. Because that's, as you're poking around, like these are not good hardy clothes. They look like kind of cheaper costumes. So there's one that looks like a beggar's clothing. There's one that looks like a like a shopkeeper. There's an apron and some tools and things like that. There's one or two that look like the Bleak Guard, the Bleak Walkers, which is what the gentleman you found in the sewers belong to. And there's a couple of just various assortments of things. One or two of them are actually nobility, like clothes of the nobility. There's about 8 piles of varying rank and file of people scattered around this alley.
I'm going to actually point that out to everybody specifically. Like, just call out what I'm finding, clothing-wise.
Yeah, and surprisingly, no money, no coin purse, nothing of note except for just like the nobility has like the cut and cloth is very fine. The shopkeeper has a few kind of ancillary tools and like a money belt, but no pouch on it.
I'm going to take the tools.
Okay.
How high are these windows?
30 feet.
Look,
You guys are stuck between 2 3-story buildings.
I'm not quite sure what just happened, but I don't know about the rest of you. I'm very tired. We should go to the inn.
How far apart are the buildings?
This alley's 10 feet
Can I fucking ninja off the walls and get up to this window?
That would be a series of checks, but
Okay.
sure.
Okay. What kind of checks?
Um,
Animal handling? Medicine?
Somebody's
Punk
somebody's
show
That's
gonna
kidding.
playing?
that's
That's
gonna
some
be.
Patrick Rothfuss BS.
Hey now, as I drink from my Aeolian mug.
I love
You
it
can end
too.
this right here, right now.
I will end this call. This was all a story. You'll never find out the end of it. I'm not. Anyway, so those would be acrobatics checks. I would need to climb that distance. If you're going to parkour your way up to the window that Thalia pointed out, I'm
Mhm.
going to need 4.
Okay.
1 to go the first jump, second jump. Actually 5. Or no, if you start on the opposite wall, 4. I can do 4 checks.
The first one was a 14.
Okay.
Have I died yet? Second one was a dirty 20.
Okay.
The third one was a 10.
So you get
There you
your
So
Ding.
give me the
should've
last
just
roll. Give me
climbed
the
up
last
with your
roll, last roll just for
javelins.
funsies.
That is a 21.
Okay. So
Chris.
14.
Javelins.
What was it? 14, dirty 20, 10.
14, dirty 20, 10, 21.
Okay. So you get that first kind of you bobble a run up a little bit, but once you get up to the wall and you're able to start pushing off the wall, you get the first jump and you're like, all right, cool. And so you grab it on the other wall, you kind of recoil and push off again. And as you're coming for that third landing on the opposite building, you reach out to grab and you end up just punching through the wall. So you have a handhold, you just punched it into the building.
Okay.
And then you start to hear some noises inside the building that aren't just falling debris. And then you turn and you jump and you grab onto the eave of the building and you kind of plant your feet and you are now hanging 30 feet above the ground next to this window.
Can I open the window?
You can, you reach over to the window and you give it a shimmy. You just you reach under and you pop it up and the window swings outward and latches in place. It is dark inside.
How dark?
Too dark for you to see.
I stealthily go inside. Just inside.
You said stealth. Give me a stealth check.
Okay, while this is going on, can I cast Spider
Ooh.
Climb on myself
Ooh.
and
Yes,
just kind of
absolutely.
like casually and just walk up the side?
That is a 21 again.
So as Ronan kind of scurries his way inside, Mari's just and just takes a nice casual jaunt up the side of the building. So Mari, you've worked your way up the side and you just watched Ronan sneak in here. Do you just want to hang out for a second and help other people in, or are you gonna go in after him?
Hold on. I need to figure out if I have. Okay, I do have rope, so I'm gonna throw some rope down for everybody and tie off one end somewhere.
To something in the building, not to you. Okay.
I was also going to throw
Just
down
tie
a
it to
rope,
Ronan.
So
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
So you guys see a rope drop down from Maury. And so Ronan, as you go inside, you sneak in, and right as you're going in, the window starts to swing shut. But between you reach out a hand to kind of ease it down, and the rope that Maury handed you to tie off inside the room prevents it from making any noise. Inside the room, pitch darkness. Like you cannot see in front of your. You can put your hand on your. The only way you know your hand is in front of your face is when you put your hand on your face.
Can I see anything since I have dark vision?
Nope.
Oh god.
It is absolute black.
So I'm gonna tie the rope around my waist, and then I'm gonna light a torch.
Okay.
Which is not very stealthy, but
Okay.
what do I see when I go? Whoosh! I am here. I'll say that.
Nothing. The torch. You know the torch is lit because it is very warm in your hand.
I cast detect magic.
But it is like you know the torch is lit because you heard the torch light. But you can't see anything.
Can I see outside the window?
Behind you?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not
So
blind.
like you can when you look back that way, you can see the shape of the window. But that's it.
Okay. So I am now attached to the rope. So
If the rope is attached to you, let's be real here.
And I'm just going to get against the wall next to the window and just brace myself and stick my hand out and go like this out of the window to like let people know that they can climb up. And as I am waiting for people to climb up, I'm going to use my last detect magic and see what I see.
So you see
darkness.
That no, your hands, like you have your hand reaching outside the window, and you see it start to glow blue. And it's the same bluish. It's the same blue that you felt in Lady Cost's cottage when she, with all of her illusion works. It's that same. It's that same feel, and it's that same glow.
Okay. Have I noticed anyone climbing up the rope yet?
Is anybody climbing up the rope with the glowy blue hand at the top?
I was gonna say Lythard takes the rope and goes, went, tugs on it for a second. It doesn't fall down, so then I'm like, all right.
Wait, so we noticed the hand glowing blue?
Yes.
Oh.
Because that's how the barbarian detect magic works. You faintly glow a color corresponding to the school of magic you detect. You choose the colors. So, Chris, if you want to glow a different color.
No, I'm fine with blue.
And yes, for those of you following along at home, this spell is an evocation spell. But that's fine. We're moving past that.
Does anyone
spell?
have dispel magic?
I've already used that spell today, and I can't do it again until I sleep.
Can someone remind me again what exactly we're doing here and why I'm not in a bed?
I believe we heard a scream. I believe that people believe lives are in danger.
And I believe I'm tired.
I just look at Lami and I go,
Then
well,
don't
time to
leave.
go. When I climb up the rope.
Okay.
I guess we are going.
Wrong direction that I was
have
hoping
to
from.
unsummon the sword to climb.
Please don't kill us all.
Okay. Lythar, you're fine. Actually, yeah, 30, like climbing 30 feet of rope is not hard, especially because it's tied off and braced. Yeah, you're fine. So Lythar and Ronan, or Lythar and Robbie make their way into the room. And you guys notice the same thing. As you're looking into the room, it is pitch darkness. And if, like, as you sort of break the plane of the window, you just get into the dark. You can feel the heat from Rodin's torch, but you cannot see it.
I whisper to them, illusion magic.
I'm
All
no
right.
illusion.
I can do nothing to help.
Yeah, I don't have any magic shit. Mine are all combat spells. So,
I am also useless in this.
well,
That makes 3 of us.
that makes all of us besides maybe Maury, but
One-
he is
one second.
sandwiched right now.
1 second. I need to look at the spell list because I think he has this. Nope, he doesn't. He does not have the spell for this.
I'm so mad I'm out of spell slot.
You might have some. So Thalia, give me an Arcana check.
Okay. 17.
So as you're hearing them all be like, man, like you hear them kind of muttering, and Ronan says something about how his torch isn't working. You're like, that, like putting 2 and 2 together. You're like, oh, I think I have a solution for this. Because this sounds a lot like different kinds of magical darkness that has been used in in a lot of stories. Like there's always stories about the demon summons impenetrable darkness, and the hero can't see, but he strikes a lucky thing. This is a remarkably common trope, and you know that magical light.
Oh, okay.
Magical light can diffuse this.
Okay. Who's in the alley still?
I am in the alley.
Lami and Thrall. Maury is hanging out on the wall outside.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Lami and just kind of say, "Look, if you want to keep complaining, just go back, go sleep. That's fine. Nothing's keeping you here." And then I'll just walk. I'll just climb up.
Lami looks enthused.
I'm just gonna kind of go, and I'm going to very reluctantly climb the rope.
So, as you two are climbing the rope, Thrall, are you going to climb the rope as well, or would you like to wait outside?
Yeah, I'll mosey my way up there too.
Okay.
Behind.
The most relaxed of climbing, just mosey and
He's
In
Thrall don't give a
Dragonborn,
I'm not in a rush.
full plate.
the dragon in full plate is just like, God, this is heavy. And Ronan, you can tell who's climbing the rope based on like, oh, this is Thalia. Like, this is pretty easy. And then the Dragonborn gets on, and you're like, oh, you kind of have to brace a little bit. Not because he's fat, but because he's big. He is chunky,
He's a thick boy.
as the kids say. He's a chonker.
HIC
Dummy thick.
with 2 C's.
Dummy
So,
thick.
so Thalia, as you climb the rope and get up to the top, you see that everyone's kind of like trying to see in this this haze. And once you feel it kind of press onto your face, you're like, oh yeah, no, this is exactly. I know exactly what this is. And so you are now 100% certain that your light can banish this.
Okay. Let me just check. It says I can touch an object. Can I just like high five myself and make my hand?
You're technically always touching your hand.
Okay,
So
I wasn't
just like
sure.
make your hand glow.
That's why I checked.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is a
let's
valid
see.
question.
What do I have on me? I'm gonna tap the chanter of my bagpipes. That's kind of on my gear, and put the light cantrip on that.
Okay. So Thalia, I was gonna say you all see Thalia, but you don't. Everyone has kind of worked their way into the window, including Maury. And Thalia touches her bagpipe, and it just begins to this glow. 20 feet, 30 feet.
I believe it's 20. Let me double check. It is 20-foot radius.
Okay.
And dim light for an additional 20.
So this you guys physically see the darkness being repelled from you guys, and you see what looks like a dormitory.
Am I upstairs now?
Yes, everyone has made their way up the rope, and you guys all see a dormitory.
Up.
It's just single beds, 2 rows of 5, kind of pushing out, and you notice as the light gets pushed further out, next to the first bed nearest to you, there is a small black cube, probably 4 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches.
I extinguish my torch.
And it's just this black cube, and the light is pushing back, but it never fully illuminates this cube. But you see a bunch of dormitories, you see some chests, some freestanding wardrobes, trunks at the foot of each bed. But otherwise, this place appears abandoned.
How long has it been abandoned?
Give me a. Actually, what was your Arcana check?
17.
Okay. You know that. Actually, give me a perception check with advantage, or insight. I'm sorry, insight check with advantage.
Okay. That's cocked. Sorry. That's a nat 1.
With advantage.
Insight, you say?
Yes.
Double net 1.
I would just go home. I am home.
15.
I would still go home. So you get the feeling that like it looks abandoned, but why would someone have a darkness spell running on an abandoned place? And there's dust, but the dust it's weird. The dust looks too even. Like the dust doesn't seem right.
Mm-hmm.
You know how dust works. You've spent enough time in libraries.
You know how dust works.
Like stuff that gets moved regularly, stuff that never gets moved, stuff that gets handled once every 10 years. This all looks something isn't right with how this is going. And the fact that someone has set up a darkness cube or some kind of trinket that's casting darkness to cover the window mixed with the fake window, this is not as abandoned as it looks.
Follow-up question.
Mhm.
Do I remember reading anything in like the guard reports or whatever the Brotherhood collected about similar crimes, or like connect the dots sort of thing?
Give me a history check.
Right.
With advantage because she's smart. No?
This is remembering the boring shit. This is like remembering the first word of every major Senate bill between 1977 and 1986.
That's 15.
There have been reports of people of missing persons. Usually that gets chalked up to somebody left town, somebody like, and these are like the unsolved missing persons are a little unusual. There's been 1 or 2 reports of like people hear screams in the night and that's it, but nothing ever resolved from those.
Okay.
Has Thrall made his way up?
Yes, you guys are all in this space.
I'm going to gather my rope and start walking forward into the room.
Okay.
Is there a door? Like on the other side of
you
it?
can't see the end of the hall yet. As you walk forward, once you get outside of that once you get about 20 to 25 feet ahead, the darkness settles in. How far are you going to walk? Let me answer that. Let me ask that question.
About 10 feet before I can't see.
Okay, so like you're moving like 10 feet at a time because that's a 20-foot circle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, there's no Yeah, it just looks like a dormitory.
Can I take one of my little javelins and poke the cube?
Sure.
I poke the cube.
You poke the cube. You feel a metal. You hear metal on metal, but when you pull the javelin back, you don't see any mark of impact. And Maury is gonna go over, and like he hears the metal on metal, and it's like, hang on a second. He's gonna go real quick. Jesus Christ. I'm critting for you guys now. I hate it. I guess whose dice did it, Mike?
Erky.
Fucking Erky. The best NPC I'll never get to play. So that is, yeah. So he looks at it and he goes, This is a dark spot. And he like kind of picks it up and he reaches back behind one of the panels, clicks it off, and the cube just turns into just a normal metal cube. And all of a sudden you're starting to get moonlight and a little bit of street light coming through the windows. You get to watch my cat zoom around in the back corner of my screen. But all of a sudden the darkness is gone. And you're starting to see that this looks like sleeping quarters for probably a dozen people.
Are there people in it?
No.
Now is there a door?
At the end of the hall, there's one door.
I go to the door.
Okay.
Is the door locked?
And it's time to go. We figured it out. It's a dark, tiny, screaming box. Everything's fine.
I just look behind me and go, is the door locked?
You try the handle. The door is not locked.
Can I sneakily open the door?
Sure. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Yeah, I'm +2 in that, which is great. So that's a 5.
Which is great. So
Give me a dex saving throw, please.
Oh no!
I am not open.
A dex saving throw. That is a dirty 20.
Okay.
Jesus.
So you go to push the door open, and you lose your balance a little bit, and the door swings open faster than intended, and you because all of your weight shifts over to the handle of the door, and you fall to the ground, which is convenient because the needles that whiz over your head miss you by about 4 inches as you hit the deck. And they kind of clatter to the ground in between you and everybody else.
Well, definitely time to go. This seems bad.
Is there anything in the room?
Hold on. What's everybody else want to do?
Definitely time to go. It's just absurd. We'll take the dark box and we'll go, and then we have our own box. Very, very good. Very handy. Bigly useful.
I'm having a dilemma because as a player, I very much want a long rest.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like,
Can we perhaps mark this on a map and come back tomorrow?
What's in the room?
Will people have died if we leave now?
Maybe. I'm not there. I'm up ahead. Never mind.
We already solved it. The box was screaming, we can go. We found the box. It's all good.
I'm gonna take the box from Maury's hand and shake it and try to make it scream.
It does.
While he does it, I'm gonna go, ah!
Okay, so
performance check.
yes, please. Okay, so real quick, Lami,
Yeah.
you can do performance or deception. I don't think you have anything.
Ah!
Or actually, I would do. Would that be? I don't know. I'm gonna ask the group persuasion check. I feel like that's a persuasion check.
What's his
I was
persuasion?
gonna go with
Yeah.
sleight of hand.
What's his best skill in? Persuasion.
Persuasion is a
Deception,
plus
yeah.
7.
Definitely
Performance
deception.
and deception are a plus 4. He's
I
a
was gonna go with
charisma-based caster.
I go with deception.
Yeah, it's a deception.
I agree.
But because Robbie is like jangling the box, I will give advantage.
Oh, I'm glad you did that.
Is that a one?
Okay, that's a 21.
Excellent. My wisdom is a 10. I totally believe that this box is screaming.
So Chris, you hear slightly distorted. You hear the conversation. They're like, "Baby, the box screamed," and you hear like clink, 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 clink. Ah!
Excellent. We have found the source. No one will die. We can go.
Problem solved. Time for more mead.
Uh,
Let's go.
Chris, the room in front of you as you're laying on the floor is an empty space with what looked like at one point had been a stairwell, but the stairs are rotted away and fallen. So you're basically like there's probably 10 feet and then a landing and then just a straight drop.
Can I relight my torch and look down the hole?
I was about to say, knowing that I'm a source of light, I would walk towards Ronan.
You'll stroll
okay.
towards him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you get to the edge, Ronan's kind of fumbling with his torch, and you walk out, and it is a straight drop to the ground floor, where there is the debris of 3 flights of stairs.
Twist and shout. Twist and shout.
What are you rolling for?
What do you guys do?
Is there anything to tie a rope to?
Lythar mentions the twist and shout very casually.
Not really. It's just like wooden floor and then a drop.
Hmm.
If you went back into the other room, maybe. However, you are also fairly certain that given the amount of other tomfoolery and shenanigans, the scream sounded correct from Lami. Like you're pretty sure that this was all just some kind
Wouldn't
of
I
weird
have
trap.
to roll like a perception check or something? Does it just go off of my passive stuff?
It would go off. So typically that would go like if you're trying to persuade somebody,
Mhm.
usually that goes against their passive wisdom, unless they're actively trying to be like, I think you're bullshitting me. Like Curly Thrall knows that you guys are absolutely fucking
I'm
lying.
not saying anything.
Not saying a goddamn word. But there's so if you can give me a reason that you wouldn't trust your companions to not tell you the truth, I would let you contest that.
Because I want to jump down the hole.
Thalia would contest that.
I will contest the whole drop. Can more in here?
Oh, I was talking about Lami. I wouldn't trust it.
Oh, okay.
No.
So you want to be like, what the shit, guys?
Stupid ASMRs.
I too want a long night's rest because I want to make this sword, but like
So
I'm full of hit points and I still have 1 rage left. So
I am
like,
not full
I
hit
got-
points, sir.
I am full hit points and have both of my spell slots, but
Maury's like, wait a second. So we found the screaming box. The screaming dark spot.
It's a box.
But here's an idea. And he starts pulling out. He like while you guys were climbing up, he recovered the steel wire that had been run across the alley. And he takes some of it and he starts rigging up something by the window. He's like, all right. He starts fiddling with it, and he's making a tripwire that will not interfere with how this functions. And he sets this whole thing up. He's like, okay. So what I can do is I can let us know if anybody uses this window in the next 8 hours to get in. Is that cool, Ronan? Can we all just go to bed?
And I
know.
I start mopily walking back to the window. Shoulders hung low and just kind of stomping. He keeps rolling. There's something here.
That's metagaming, sir. Stop it.
Ronan, we found the box. Let's just go.
This sounds like an excellent time for me to remind people that sometimes I like to roll dice just to fuck with you.
Do you actually do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god, fuck that. Fuck that. I never knew that, actually.
Dude,
fuck.
You tune it out after a while.
Because exactly that. People are like, oh, he's rolling dice.
Oh, he's rolling, shit's happening. Oh god.
No, sometimes they do it just to fuck with you.
Just minimize all the
that,
video.
and I hate that.
Who's rolling?
Can I insight check the DM?
At severe disadvantage, and you have to use a D4. So you're going to take a D4, you're going to roll it 4 times and take the lowest result.
4.
1.
Yeah. You have complete and utter
That's what I
faith in
thought.
me.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Your DM will provide.
Now's when he says, and something attacks the barbarian.
Also, real quick, I'm going to give inspiration to Lami and Robbie, because that was fucking brilliant.
Lovely.
So as you're walking back, who's closest to the window?
I think I am.
Okay. Thrall, you hear. Give me a perception check. Or actually, no. It's perception or survival, whichever one's better. Because they're both wisdom. They're both wisdom skills.
+3, probably I'll do survival. That is a 21.
Okay. You hear you hear the soles of someone's shoes kind of scuffing across the cobblestones outside.
I'm gonna peek my head out.
So you look out the window. It's a guard patrol.
Plumes.
But it's a bunch of guards, but they're not in regulation plate. They're moving like guardsmen. They're walking in the same formation, but they look like they're in civvies. They're in civilian dress.
Who's closest to me?
Probably Lythar or Robbie.
Shoot them.
Or actually, well, yeah, Lythar, Robbie, and Lami.
Just kind of gonna announce that what I just saw to those 3.
It's like there's a company of
They're
guardsmen
around me.
outside, and they're in civvies.
Very, very quietly, I'm going to go, I wonder if their clothes will become some of the clothes on the ground.
Guards wear clothes too, and maybe they're on some secret mission to bust somebody selling lots of electric lettuce. You never do know.
As they're walking by, and you can kind of hear their footsteps. Thrall, you hear from the alley below you the same scream.
Am I the only
Was
one that
not
heard it?
the box.
You all hear it. You're just closest, and you hear that it came from basically straight below your window.
Did I hear the scream?
Yes.
Oh, there goes that box again.
Oh.
He shook it in his pocket. Never trust the damn things.
I don't have pockets. Oh wait, I have a coat. Yes, I do.
Wait, no, didn't Maury like rig it up on the window or something?
He rigged up an alarm on the door.
Yeah.
It
on
is
the door. Okay.
on the hanging window.
Mhm.
He's still in the process of rigging it up because it takes a couple of minutes. But it is a pitch perfect match, pitch perfect representation and recreation of the scream you heard before.
What about
From-
Lami's scream?
Directly. It's a little different from Lami's scream, so it adds a little variety to the package. You don't do the same scream 3 times and expect it to work. But you hear that same scream happen from directly below your window. And Thrall, you poke your head out to take a look. There's nothing in the alley below you. It is the exact same as it was a second ago.
Well, I guess I announced that to the rest of them. There's nobody down there. But the scream came obviously from below us.
The box is slightly below your ears.
How long have we been in this building?
Less than 5 minutes. I'd say like 10 minutes with the climbing and everything.
So, I'm going to propose this. We wait 10
Have you come back to rejoin the group?
Yeah, I was moping that way the entire time.
Okay, I didn't know how long you were gonna mope.
Pretty long. That seemed like a long enough time to mope. And I'm like, we
Sufficient
wait
moping.
10 minutes. If we hear the scream again, then we check it out one more time, and then we go home and go to bed. If we don't hear the scream again, then we just go to bed.
Or we say we didn't hear the scream again and go home, drink some ale in the shower, go to bed.
I am going to sit down on the ground next to the window and just cross my arms.
I'm gonna spend the entire time shaking the box.
Do they know that I can tell who's lying and who's not?
I don't believe so.
No,
I
you
think
haven't told us.
Yeah,
I
right
would
now.
not be privy to that information.
Right now, they just the people that are kind of clued in. You've so far you've just proven you have a very good intuition.
Okay, never mind.
So Maury finishes his alarm and he's like, I'll alarm this when we leave. If we don't hear it again, I'll set this up when we go. 10 minutes goes by. Let me find out if something happens. Come here, D20. About 7 minutes in to your 10-minute wait, you guys hear the scream again.
I jump out the window.
Would anyone else like to do anything before we have Ronan hurl himself out the window?
Can I try to stop him?
I'm gonna say that damn box. It's acting up.
No, I'm gonna watch somebody attempt 3d6 of falling damage.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mhm.
So
full
Ronan's
health.
gonna yeet himself out the window. So this window slams open and Ronan dives out into the alley.
Do I see anything
I
on
don't
the way
have
down?
any attempt to save him from falling.
You can get to save him
I
from falling
want
or
to.
save him from jumping out the window.
I have a
He takes
question.
you with.
Kind of both. I like if he goes to jump, I'm gonna try to stop him.
And he takes you with.
So what was your question?
He did tackle a tree.
Is the rope still tied to Ronan?
The rope is the rope is
Mhm.
actually I believe the rope is still attached.
I
is.
unbundled it and gathered it as I was walking. I
Oh,
even
okay.
said
So he
it
did. He
out
is
loud with my voice.
He did. I thought you gathered it at your waist, but still had it attached. So the Maury, basically what you missed while you were out on your phone call is you spider climbed your happy ass into the building. You found something called a dark spot, which is basically a 4-inch by 4-inch cube that casts darkness in an area around it. You were able to turn it off because this is something that you have a familiarity with. The room is basically a dormitory with sleeping space. And at the door at the end of the hallway, one had poison darts that shot at Ronan but missed, and two ends at a just like a 30-foot drop to the ground floor. And there have been 2 instances where you've heard the exact same scream from outside directly below your window, even though you guys are inside. And when like you hear the scream, there is no one in the alley. And so Ronan, having heard the scream for the 3rd time after waiting a few minutes, has hurled himself out the window with great alacrity.
Do I see anything on the way down?
Well, first let's
So
how are you? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, how aggressively did he throw himself out the window?
Pretty
'Cause
fucking
if it
aggressively.
if it was aggressive, he could like maybe not straight across, but definitely like go through the other building.
How convenient. Chris, give me an athletics check. Are you going for like a dramatic entrance, or are you trying to like just get out, like trying to get to the ground?
Go down. An athletics.
So I lied. If you're just like so that's falling. You're falling with style.
Are we not gonna let me roll to try to stop him? Like what? Like I want to stop him from.
Well, I want to keep this roll for whatever you're having me rolling. So,
So Chris, hold
other
on.
D20.
Hold on to that roll.
Like I'm trying to prevent this from happening. Because we got an
Give me a
idiotic barbarian.
contested strength check between the two of you.
Oh great, my strength is terrible.
A strength
compared to
check
him.
or saving throw?
Check. This is a contested strength. Whoever has the higher check.
Ooh baby,
Is that just
I got a
with my-
20.
What?
Ooh, I got a 22.
I got a 21.
Oh baby, the wood elf wins this one, baby.
So
What'd you
Ronan,
do? Trip him before he gets to the
Ronan
window?
hears the scream.
Woo!
So, actually, Lythar, how do you want to do this?
What were you even attempting to do? Just
Trying to
jump
get
out
into
the window?
the alley.
So like just dive out the window?
I have 55 hit points. I can
Yeah,
jump
He's
out
feeling
of
pretty-
the
time
window.
we're just trying to stop Chris from doing stuff.
So
So-
I guess
You're just ruining my
gonna try to-
fun.
jump through the window, and I'm basically just gonna spear his ass like boom before he reaches the window and tackle him to the ground. Like
So-
no.
So like he's been sitting next to the window. So like he starts to get up to do the dive out, and you just like you slam him into the wall. Okay.
Well, I would like to admit that Lythar definitely has a face of like, holy shit, I actually did that.
I slap him
I
in the
did not
face.
expect that. I did not expect that to happen. Oh my god.
I
Would anyone-
slap Lythar in the face.
Do I need to make a con save for that?
No. How hard?
Hard.
Oh god.
You're gonna knock him
It's
out.
a slap. Just roll. Take a D4 of bludgeoning. It's a slap, not a punch. You're not trying to break his teeth. You're trying to teach him something.
I don't
What is
know.
it,
He sounds
3?
pretty pissed.
That
Is
is a
it
3.
with my unarmed attack? Because then that would be +6.
No, because it's a slap. You're not trying to like. If you had said punch, I would have been like, yeah, no, roll an unarmed to just beat his ass.
Do
But
I
if
roll
you're,
a D4?
No, Chris already rolled it, so you take 3.
Oh, okay.
Like you just
Okay.
crack him across the face. I'm also like you get tackled, and Ronan just like rolls and picks you up and just tosses you.
I just look at him and go. Sorry.
Would anyone else like to go out the window?
Nope. Unless it means going home to the inn. No.
Wait, is Maury's rope still out the window?
Maury's rope was attached to Ronan.
Oh,
So there is currently no rope out the window. How
Okay, so Ronan's currently running towards the window. Is that what's going on?
Ronan was sitting next to the window waiting. The alarm went off, or like you heard the scream. Ronan was going to dive out the window. Lythar tackled him into like the windowsill and just like kept him out of the window. You grabbed.
I did it. I'm sorry, Chris.
You have the beginnings of an alarm set up on this window, but you basically haven't cast the spell to activate it. Which means I think how long does spider climb last?
That's an hour.
Up to 1 hour. So you still have spider climb up and running.
Okay.
If you wanted to shimmy your way out the window like a cool guy.
Can I just kind of like stick my head, like just barely go out the window and like perch horizontally and kind of like look down at the alley and see what's going on?
You're like you're Spider-Manning it. You're kind of just like poking out of the window. You see a pair of reasonably well-dressed gentlemen like standing in the street where you guys came from, kind of looking at each other and looking at the alley and looking at each other and looking back at the alley. And then they like kind of roll up their sleeves and start walking into the alley, just like looking around, trying to kind of trying to keep their bearings and see what's going on in this dark alley. And they're following a very similar path that you guys did. And you actually see them walk right past where the wire was that Ronan was able to duck.
Okay. Can I just kind of like watch and see what happens? Just let them do their thing.
Let them do their thing? Okay. You may be badgered with questions from the people inside, or Ronan's going to just continue to sulk in the corner.
I am.
I don't know how Ronan's feeling. Or Thrall or anybody.
I'm just gonna poke my head out.
I'm getting a very
Maury's-
Scooby-Doo kind of vibe where it's like
Maury's-
head.
like-
Maury's like is like 3/4 of the way out the window, just like grabbing onto stuff. And you see these two guys kind of go through the same motions you guys did, where they're looking around and they're like trying to see, and like they're just looking, and they're kind of kicking and poking at the piles of clothing and stuff on the ground. And then one of them looks up.
Oh god.
And he looks, just as a real quick look at the buildings around him, does not see you.
Just kind of turn to Thrall and go, shh.
One, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I was gonna like slowly pull my head back. But
And then so they kind of look around and they look at each other and they kind of shrug. And then they turn and go back out the way they came and go back up the street.
Dang. Okay, so we still don't know what's going on with the screams.
No.
Twist and shout.
It's the
Twist and
box.
shout. Come on, come on, come on.
Ronan
come on, baby.
had basically struck a deal with Lamy. If you wait 10 minutes and hear the scream, check out the scream. If you don't hear the scream, or like you check out the scream and you go home, or 10 minutes go by, you don't hear the scream and y'all go home. Is that deal still accurate, Ronan? Or
I throw the rope at Lythar and I go out the window.
What are you going out the window for? Are there any more clothes out the window? Like, can I see the street? Like, are there any more dark spots?
no, it's all the same dark spots you kind of saw your first time through the alley. When Robbie went and checked out all the clothes, that's kind of what he saw. Nothing too fancy.
Wait, so you're telling me I have the rope?
Yep.
And this big ass barbarian just jumped out the window.
I didn't jump out the window. I sauntered out the window.
Okay,
Casually.
you
so
go out
you're-
the window, and I'm just like, wait, what's about to happen? That's where I'm at right now.
I don't think the rope is
It's not
attached
attached
to
to
it.
me.
No.
Okay.
oh, that would have been funny.
So Chris, give me a acrobatics check to stick the landing on this.
Now, I'm going to hang on to the ledge and look at Lythar, and I would like to rage and then let go.
You're gonna waste your rage on
So-
me
so-
because I
mad.
denied
To set
you.
this up- To set
Are
this
you
up,
serious?
the 7.5
is.
foot tall Goliath just moseys over, chucks the rope underhand, and like hits Lythar in the chest with it. Grabs the ledge, swings his feet out, missing Maury barely. Like the feet swing over, and Maury's like kind of hanging out the window. And he just he's got his hands, and you just see like the eyes, and he's glaring at you, Lythar. He's like, and then there's a they flash. Eyes should not be able to generate light, but these are mad. These are the angry eyes.
I kind of want to see what my rage does. I don't know what a
Oh,
6
no.
does. Here, I have the thing up. Arcane energy taps into the minds. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see how people are going to attack me. That's not that interesting.
Is anyone going to attack him? Actually, what's the range on that?
30 feet.
Does it pass through cover?
Each creature
Hey.
within 30 feet of you must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. It does not say. It's just kind of a 30-foot sphere.
One moment. Because for some reason this is not in my favorites.
I can send you the link.
What's your... No, I pulled it up. What's the difficulty class on your... what's your spell save DC? 8 plus proficiency plus constitution modifier.
My constitution modifier is +5.
That's
no,
a
wait, that's
16.
strength. That's 13.
No, I was gonna
Or
say, what
3.
the
It's
fuck?
a 3. I'm sorry.
Okay, so they have to beat a 14. Okay. Yeah, no, you feel like that telepathic burst. And you count all 7 consciousnesses in the room. And then you drop. Give me an acrobatics check to stick the landing.
7.
Give me an acrobatics check to stick the landing, please.
Okay.
You already said you dropped.
I did.
left
But
us.
An acrobatics check?
To stick the
That
landing.
is a 19.
Okay. So you just do like a dead drop, and you like catch your knees and just like really drop into the squat. You don't superhero landing because that's bad for your knees. Yeah, you're fine.
And then I'm going to count on my fingers real quick. I'm just kind of like gonna look up at the window. Is anyone Maury is still there,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at him and go, how many of us are there? Still like slightly
I'm
seething.
also gonna count on my fingers. Pretty sure there's 7. Yeah, 7.
including me.
Yes.
I think there's someone in that room that isn't one of us. But
Does
now
Frank
I'm
count?
down here. Does Frank count? I don't know if Frank counts. I would assume Frank would count.
Do you
If it-
sense your own energy? It's a real
No.
question.
If it worked on Robbie, then I would think it would work on Frank. So are we gonna change it to 8 consciousness?
Give me. So mechanically for the game, because Frank is not a full sentience, because Maury has to command Frank to do things.
So
he
he
is not
wouldn't
a-
have a
he is
thought
not a
in
full
attacking me
consciousness.
anyway.
He's not a full consciousness like Robbie. For like narratively, he doesn't ping on the same scale. You don't get a read off of Frank, but you're still picking up 7 others.
There's an extra person
7
up
others.
there.
Oh,
How
Okay,
loud does he say
can I look
that?
around the room? Can I like scoot myself back in and kind of look around?
Who's the back of the line?
I don't know.
What's
Back in
is
the
that-
line.
Probably.
It's me and then Thrall.
you and Thrall are at the window.
Yeah.
It's probably me
I'm-
again.
It's probably
I was at the window as well.
so. It's probably
Yeah.
Thalia.
Thalia and Robbie. Probably. Actually, so it's
Well,
Thalia.
no, I'm over by Lamy because I'm still sitting there shaking the cube.
Lathar's got to be
Tommy's
pretty
going,
close because Chris threw a rope at him.
That's true. So Thalia,
Yay!
give me. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy, my favorite.
You get a +5. I think you'll be okay.
I do. That's true.
If this is common, my character's gonna die.
It's a 17.
Okay. So you get that weird feeling on the back of your neck. And you duck just in time. Like you dodge out of the way as a pair of metal cuffs lash out from under the bed and click shut where your ankles were a second ago. And then you hear the chain slither back under the bed. Everyone, please roll initiative for me.
Oh.
This is not, I will preface,
I'll
this is
fucking
not
die.
necessarily combat. This is to keep things in a neat and tidy order.
19.
16.
Nice. 21.
No, I got a 1.
Oh no.
Do you have like a +5 to
I
initiative
got a
though?
2. No, I have a +1 to initiative.
11 for me.
That's a 17.
Sorry, Thrall, you had a 19.
Yes.
Ronan had a 16.
Indeed.
Lami had a 21.
Mhm.
Thalia had 11.
Correct.
Lythar
17.
had a what?
Lythar has a broken camera.
17. Yeah, what the fuck is
Perfectly
happening? to my
frozen.
camera?
Man, if you only spent less money on shitty beer.
It's not shitty beer!
Shitty
To be
beer.
fair,
If you
it's not,
spend less money by drinking shitty.
it's not
10%.
dinosaur piss, so we'll take it.
It's
Um,
not dinosaur.
Robin, what was
beer.
yours?
It's
12.
10% though. I
Uh,
hate all of you.
It's 10% shitty beer, guys.
No.
Not
Alright,
100%
two.
shitty beer.
Chris, I will rip your penis off.
You already tackled me into a wall.
And that's recorded for posterity. And then let me make a
As
roll.
he says that with that super serious face he's got stuck on. Oh, it's gone.
Okay.
Will this come
Okay.
back?
What's your dex mod, Maury?
My
What's your-
dex +1.
+1. Perfect.
Bye.
Okay, so
Gonna die.
we will lead with Lami. What would you like to do, friend?
Did I hear or notice anything?
You heard the rattling and saw the chains retreating under the bed.
Okay.
Immediately to you, like the first bed to your right.
And Thalia is obviously the one in the back.
Thalia jumped out of the way of those chains. She's the furthest into the room right now.
Thalia, what was that?
What was that about another person in the room?
Sounds like it's time to go to the inn. We
Twist
should
and
leave
shout.
this
Twist
area
and shout. Come on, babe. Oh, my camera. Oh, there it is.
And
Well-
demonetized. Sorry, go ahead, Lummy.
We are not welcome here. We need to go immediately.
They're not getting our.
So yeah, we're doing this in initiative order, so you get first turn.
Isn't that what I'm doing?
Yeah. Are you looking to skedaddle?
That's my goal, but I'm also gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my channel divinity just in case.
Okay. What are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna use. I guess I'm just gonna use sacred weapon.
Okay. Are you going to make it glowy?
Make it bright and shiny. Yes.
Okay. Pulls out the sword, holds it in his hand, and the familiar silver gray flames furl up from this thing. And you see the shit with this light combined with Thalia's light. The room, your half of your chunk of the room is pretty well lit. Except under the beds, those shadows stick around. Those shadows remain. And that is an action. So you still have your movement.
I'm standing next to the window, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay there for now.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Okay. Next up, we have Thrall.
Curiosity's gonna kill the cat. I'm gonna. How close am I to one of these beds?
You'd have to move. You'd have to move like 5 feet. You'd have to with your glaive. You'd be able to like reach out and poke.
Yeah, I want to use my glaive and kind of flip one over.
Flip over a bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a strength check.
Say 21.
Okay. So you kind of reach out and you get your glaive and get under the bed and you kind of pry and pop it up. The entire, like, you get under it and the bed starts to shift, and then you finally get it to turn over. And underneath it looks like just a long flat floor trunk, just like sort of like an underbed storage thing.
Oh no!
It's just kind of there.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh
no!
So you still I would say that's still, like, if you wanted to attack, you can still do that.
For the love of God, don't open it.
Or if you wanted to make an escape or do something like that.
I'm just gonna stay next to Lami.
Okay. Lythar, I believe you're up next. If you ever come back
again,
you've lost him.
Am I still frozen? I restarted my computer.
I don't have video, but
You're just
it is your
drooling
turn.
forever right now.
Well, I missed a little bit when I restarted.
Basically, they flipped over the bed, and there's a long wooden trunk on the ground underneath this bed on the left.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
So, what would you like to do with that information? With that assumption?
Tell the party it's a trap, and then not fuck with this.
Okay.
It's
well
a trap.
said, as always.
As always.
Roman has to hate this because he'd be opening up the trunk.
I would be stabbing the trunk.
Are you gonna? You can exit the building now that you've given that warning.
Well, I don't want to be by myself.
Ronan's at the bottom.
Ronan's down there.
Actually, that's almost worse for
Oh,
you. But do what you want.
Yeah, he's real happy with me. Oh yeah.
He also did just warn you that there's an extra sentience in the building.
I'm just gonna be like, this is a trap. Don't open this. Let's go back. Let's go sleep. I'm gonna see what they say to that. It's a trap. Exactly, Josh.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
So if anyone has anything to say into that, or we can move on to the next person in the initiative order.
I told you we should have went to the inn immediately.
Crickets.
Ronan, what would you like to do?
I would like to take one of my hand axes and just run it along my chest so I take damage, so I keep my rage up, and I would like to, again, bound up the sides of the buildings to the window.
Okay,
How
so
many times have you gone up and down now?
This will be the second time up.
I will take
Should have just cast
one.
spider climb on you.
Take 1 point of slashing. This is after the reduction, because you're doing like you know how deep you have to cut to keep this rage. You're not under duress right now. You're standing in an alley and you're like, motherfucker, I'm going in. So give me this one. I'll just do like, because you're raging, straight athletics.
Straight athletics? Do I get
so instead of-
advantage since it's strength?
That depends.
Does you gain advantage on strength checks and
Yes,
saving
that is a
throws?
strength stat. So
You should show it in your character sheet.
So yeah, instead of pinging back and forth, this is like you're gonna Hulk leap into the room.
Okay. Well, the first roll was an 18. That was a 10 plus 8. And the second roll is a dirty 20.
Okay, so yeah, you just like, you're mad. You remember how it feels to be mad, and you're just in. And the window is cracked open enough, and you just end up like jumping and smashing through that chunk of wall, and you just busted a Goliath-sized hole in the wall. You had enough oomph behind it that you've cleared everybody, so you just had this super dramatic, like, you basically Batmaned into the room without the cape. Like
Okay.
you just stick the landing. And real quick, yeah, we're good. So you are there. How long does your rage thing last? It's just the next round.
It's up to 10 rounds unless I don't take damage or I don't attack something.
The wild surge.
I think it's just once.
Specifically, that's just once. So yeah, so you know where that presence was.
Is it the box?
6 seconds ago. It is not at the box.
Where was it?
It was further down the. It was further into the building. It was like
in the hole.
It was down towards the hole.
Down towards the hole. So is it under me now?
Down the hall, not vertically down. Same
Do
plane.
I have any movement left to go in that direction?
Yes, I would say you've got probably 10 feet of movement left.
I will move that way. And do I have a general direction of where it came from? Like, can I huck my javelin that way?
Yes, it was down basically where that door was that you fell through, slightly to the right.
So inside that door to the right.
Probably like 10 feet to your right. It feels like you're getting that vibe, like from what you remember, it was coming through a wall.
And I can't make it there?
No.
And it's on the other side of a wall, so I can't huck my javelin at it.
You could.
I will huck my javelin at it.
Your big scary javelin?
Yes, the big scary javelin.
Okay.
I still don't know what my big scary javelin is. It is +8. So it's a 26 to hit. I hit the wall.
You're gonna hit that wall. So everyone just sees Rhoda just like smash through the glass, land, look up into the corner, not at the under the bed where the chains just came out. Just take his javelin, and you see it punch through 2 of the wooden dividing walls and then snap back to his hand. And that is... Can I not count to 5? Robbie, you're up.
Well, here we go again.
Okay, so we didn't see the javelin hit anything?
Correct. There was
Okay.
no... It went through the wall where he threw it and then snapped back, and there was no reaction.
Then I am convinced that this chest is my worst fucking nightmare. So this is gonna actually be the thing that tells me what the fuck I'm doing from here on out. As a bonus action, I'm going to point at it. The symbols on my palms will glow, and I'm going to attempt to hex the box.
All right.
You place a curse on a creature that you can see within range. Its range is 90 feet. So if it is a creature, it is hexed.
The hex fails.
Excellent. Now I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Did Thrall flip over the right bed? I don't know that, so I shouldn't be asking this question.
Thrall, you flipped over the bed where the chains came out.
Yeah, that was the
Yep.
plan.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, there's just the long trunk under the bed. So
Wait. Oh, and chains came out from under the bed over there. I guess with my movement and action, I will try to go up to the trunk and move it.
Okay. So yeah, you get up to the trunk and okay. Yeah, you're able to you get your hands under it. Do you still have your sword?
No, I had to unsummon it.
You had to summon it. So you get both hands under and you pick up this trunk, and it feels just like it looks like wood. It feels like stone or steel, but it's a very, very heavy, long trunk.
Maybe it's full of
So-
gold.
So the weight is wrong.
The weight is wrong for the box.
That's exactly what I say. The weight is wrong.
Maury's just gonna be like, "What?"
That's all I got.
It's also so the weight is wrong, and as you're looking at it and you pick it up, your int is 15. Your passive int is 15. So you're looking at it and you see 2 blocks missing from the center where it looks like things could enter or exit this box.
It's not a gazebo.
It is not a dread gazebo. You are inside. Dread gazebos are outside creatures. Dread gazebo is not an indoor pet.
I was just picturing a trunk that we were all mad at for no reason.
So yeah, this it feels like there is much more weight. You can't really get under the whole thing, but it tilts. The end you have tilts up very quickly. And
Does it
all the
scream?
weight is no.
If I shake it really, really hard.
Give me a strength check to shake it.
Ooh, yay, strength, my strong
Robbie's
point.
literally just like a child at Christmas, like,
What's
Hey, so I'm gonna put it this way. That roll equals 0.
I'm so proud of you. So you go to shake it. and
That's a
you're just
nat 1.
Robbie picks up and he goes to shake it, and you're trying to get your hands on it to shake it and see if it screams again. Give me a dex save with disadvantage.
Oh no.
oh,
The box
no.
falls on Robbie and eats him.
But I think you have inspiration though. This is a reminder.
I do, but I kind of want to hold on to this one.
Even it out.
That's a 4.
Okay. So as you pick up this box and you're shaking it, you feel something click. You're working your hands, and part of the box, you feel it kind of click in, and a pair of chains with shackles on them launch out and snake their way around you and grab you by the ankles. You still have some use of your arms, but you are like, and this thing pulls tight and is basically like trying to pull you into it.
Okay.
I believe you still have an action.
Oh, that wasn't my action?
Because you picked it up. Yeah, because you picked it up and then tried to activate it. So yes, that was your action. Thalia, what would you like to do? Run screaming.
For clarification, so when I jumped back, did I jump towards the window or towards the door?
You're still in your 5-foot square.
Okay.
You just like juked out of the way of these things.
Okay, and I'm still standing?
Correct.
Alrighty. I am...
and currently, Robbie, you are grappled for conditions.
Okay.
Oh, I start just screaming, get back at everybody.
I am going to cast... I'm going to Bardic Inspiration Robbie. Or no, wait, do you have Inspiration already?
I have Inspiration.
He is the Inspiration point. He doesn't have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh. Okay. I will give Robbie some Bardic Inspiration. Hold on, let me find... I just added this to the playlist. I'm so excited. I get to use this. Throw that in the chat. Go. There we go.
Yes. Excellent. That will definitely get us demonetized, but it's worth it.
It's fine. And then I will cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. So Thalia just goes, I have no more fucks to give. And it just disappears. So you can still move if you'd like.
And ooh, good question. I will move. I'll move towards the window.
Okay. And so the music is still playing, but there is no source to it. The music is everywhere. There's a weird echoey mandolin playing in the background. And so you can definitely you could get out of the window if you wanted to.
There's no rope.
Correct.
Right? Nope, I'm not going out.
Okay. By the way, for clarity, a 30-foot fall, if you fall out the window, will be 3d6 of damage.
That's nothing.
Take that into account. If you need to bail. So that is Thalia. Maury.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna shoot at it because I don't know what else to do. So
okay, you're gonna shoot
pot shots at the.
You're gonna shoot at the box at the thing that's holding Robbie.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got. What do I add to my attack roll?
Because these are, God, let me find your sheet because I have too many sheets. So you add your intelligence modifier, because these are, sort of magical firearms. You'll add 6 because that'll be proficiency plus intelligence.
Nice. Okay. So I got a 19 on the first roll.
Okay. And your second one?
I got a 21 on my second roll.
Okay. So both of those will hit. And then you'll do your 2d8 plus 4 for the first one. and then just straight up 2d8 for the second one.
So the first one was 14, and the second one is 9.
You got a 14 on a d8 plus 4? 2d8, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 2d8.
14 plus 9. Okay.
Yeah.
So you like pop up from the windowsill, still spider climbing. Two bolts of flame come out and slam into this thing. And Robbie, you're unfortunately right up close to this thing. You're seeing that it is the skin on this has been blasted off, and it looks like it looks manufactured. There's some kind of crank and gear inside this thing. And that kind of combined with Ronan's throw, this is not the thing that's trying to kill you. It is trying to kill you, but this is not like, this does not seem like the sort of thing.
Meanwhile, while everybody is moving just on a repetitive loop, I am basically just going, please stand 10 feet back.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Please stand clear of the Robbie.
Error. Okay, so that's your attack. And that's your bonus action for the second attack. Or no, was that your extra attack, or were you attacking with your offhand?
It was my extra attack.
Okay, so you do add 4 to the second one as well. So that was a 14 and a 13.
Are they 1d8s or are they 1d10s?
They are 1d.
Pretty sure they're 1d10s. I think we just
They
did
are
that wrong.
1d10s. I'm terribly sorry. Why is it?
Okay, so the first one is 10 and the other one is 5.
Okay. We'll stick with the original damage because I fucked that up.
Okay.
And we'll have to look into the custom items. So like 13. Okay. So what is Frank going to do? Oh, Frank is currently attached to your hip.
Frank is head.
Frank is there for moral support. Support by morals. So the chains on Robbie start to squeeze. Taking where are all my damage dice? I didn't think I was going to need these today. Yikes. So Robbie, you will take 4 points of bludgeoning as the chains start to just like keep contracting and contracting. And you see as your as this thing is pulling you in, the floor directly in front of this, or like you see it's starting to slide back towards the wall. And it's not the machine, it's not the device itself that's sliding, the floor itself is opening below you. At the window, I'm going to need a dex save from or closer to the window. Ronan, I'm going to need a dex save from you. Actually, no, not a dex save because you're not surprised.
Well, I'm not at the window.
You're further into the room.
Okay.
That is a 20 to hit.
20 to hit? That will hit.
Cutting words, that.
Cutting words. Ooh.
Okay.
Sorry, finding the. Roll the die. Okay, so Bardic Inspiration is 8.
So.
Right.
So you can burn one of your bardic inspirations. However, it is not a creature.
Oh no!
So you you say whatever clever retort you had on hand. but nothing happens. And you see another set of manacles reach out and just grab onto Ronan's ankles.
May I also ask, since
Yes.
like cutting words, is that count as a spell that drops my invisibility? I believe that's how that works.
Yeah, that's or is that bards are dumb.
That's more just
Make it-
like yelling.
Spell ends
So-
for a target that attacks or casts.
So because you're not casting a spell,
Okay.
because you're assisting, you're basically going, "Hey," and it just doesn't care.
Okay.
You're being a distraction, and in this instance, because it can't be distracted, it doesn't care. So it's got Ronan by the ankles,
Great.
and it's going to attempt to pull you off your feet, Ronan. So this will be a. So actually, Ronan, you need to give me a strength save.
Which I have advantage on. That is a nat 20.
Okay, so you feel this thing pull, but you've got like all of your weight is centered, and you become the mountain, and these chains reach out and just grab your ankles, and when this thing goes to pull, it actually pulls itself off of like the piece of wood that it's on, rips itself off the floor, and comes flying to your feet. And so it is now sitting at your feet with these chains around. With the chains are still around your ankles, but it is now in front of you, and there's a hole from under one of the beds next to you where this thing was. And so we're at the top of the track. Lami.
It's unmuted.
Robbie is bound by the thing.
Robbie is bound and being crushed. Ronan is about 10 feet further and has some of the chains came out and grabbed his ankles, but instead of it pulling him, it pulled itself to Ronan's feet. Thalia has gone invisible, and the other three of you are kind of hanging out at the door or at the window waiting to see what's going to happen.
And I have on constant repeat telling everybody to stand 10 feet back from me.
Please stand clear of the Robbie.
Got it.
Actually,
Shit.
if we want to put a pause on that because it is almost 11, we can keep this track. We'll keep because we're at the top of the initiative order. I know this is not the ideal place to leave off, but it is almost 11, and people are tired, and it's Thursday, and fuck Thursdays. We can put a pin in it here, and Kendrick might be dead. Yes,
I like that idea, especially because Kendrick's dead.
Yeah, Kendrick is absolutely dead.
I'm gonna die. I'm just saying.
You're not gonna die. You'll be fine.
What if I throw you
I
out
got
the
26
window?
hit
Four
points.
heals.
Y'all did buy health potions. Literally, all of you bought health potions.
What is it worth saving my life?
The bard also has a few things.
Oh, speaking of which, at some point, could I have given Thalia my...
I will say that you gave them to her like as you guys were at the bar.
Okay.
Like, hey, I got these for you, and he gave you.
So what do I have?
I
now?
gave you a greater potion of healing.
A greater. I thought it was a regular.
No, I bought 2 regulars for myself.
Aww.
And people say romance is dead.
Gentlemen.
But yeah, so thank you guys for sticking out a later night than expected. I did not, honestly, you did not expect this to go the direction it did, and that's what I like about D&D.
Isn't it great?
It's great.
It's a good time.
But yeah, thank y'all for playing.
I would
We'll call
like
it
to
a-
point out that we have, which this is mostly my fault, so I'm not really complaining, but I just want to point it out because I think it's funny. We haven't had a long rest in like 5 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
Since I
getting.
started playing,
What do you
yes.
need a rest
Yep,
for?
we were so close, Chris.
I
We
need to get all
were.
my fighting spirits back.
Because you met Thalia and me on the same day, neither one of us have gone to sleep yet.
Nope.
And well, again,
I
welcome
blame
to
Chris.
D&D. 10 hours of walking takes 10 seconds. 10 seconds of fighting takes
10
4
hours.
Yes.
But anyway, thank y'all for playing, and I will see y'all again next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat
Bye.
channel.